Who's next on their shortlist? Because it's an exciting project.
Well, we've seen lots of, the managerial merry-go-round this summer. Liverpool have got a new manager. Bayern Munich are looking for a new manager. Roberto De Zerbi's left. A lot of people are talking about Kieran McKenna at Ipswich. Thomas Tuchel potentially is going to be available, although I think it'd be very difficult for him, if not impossible, to go back to Chelsea. We've also got Ruben Amorim, the manager at Sporting, who's been linked with so many clubs. One thing I would just say on your point about the striker, I know some people have been talking about the fact that Chelsea have spent so much money in the transfer market and the head coach doesn't necessarily have much of a say in the players that come in. And I know there have been suggestions, there have been disagreements between Mauricio Pochettino and the sporting directors and the owners at Chelsea about transfers. What I sense is that is not necessarily the case. Mauricio Pochettino is somebody who's been around the block. He knows how these things work. He knows that he's not the guy who's going to be picking up the phone and deciding what players to sign. So I don't think the reason he's leaving is because he didn't have control over transfers. In the modern game, head coaches, managers are not the only people who decide which players to sign. And I think he's aware of that, he accepts that. But I just think that he just feels it wasn't working. Chelsea feel it wasn't working. Let's call it quits now. And I think as far as Mauricio Pochettino's contract is concerned, I think he's got a year left on it. I don't know for sure, but I'm being told that will be settled. So whatever clauses there are in his contract about what would happen if he was to leave in the summer, that will be honoured by Chelsea. Well, Chelsea, out of respect for Mauricio Pochettino, have not been in touch with any other managers at all. So this is not a case of there's been plotting behind the scenes. They wanted to dismiss Mauricio Pochettino. They started looking at other candidates. That is not the case. The case, though, is that the search for the new head coach, new manager, starts today. And I've got some information about the kind of person they're looking for. They're looking for somebody who plays attractive football, who is obsessed with possession, creating an identity that Chelsea fans will be proud of, a style that Chelsea fans are used to. They want a manager who will create a side which will control and dictate tempo of games and also have defensive stability. So, they want what everybody in football wants now. Great attacking football going forward and also brilliant in defence as well. And I think one of the key reasons behind Mauricio Pochettino leaving the club is I think a lot of the leading figures at Chelsea watched the Champions League semi-finals this season. They saw those games, involving Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, PSG, Man City, and they thought, this is where Chelsea belong. This is what we want. We've been out of the Champions League for too long, 2 seasons now. We are impatient. We need to be at this level as quickly as possible. And I think they just felt with Mauricio Pochettino, things were not working as they should behind the scenes. And Mauricio Pochettino felt the same way. And that is why they've decided to go in different directions. But from what I'm hearing and the sense I'm getting is this was done amicably, it was done in the right way, and it wasn't a case of people plotting behind the scenes, trying to force Mauricio Pochettino out and have a ready-made replacement ready to come in onto the main stage.